everyone, and welcome back to another Stock Talk video. Today we're going to go over 4 stocks to look out for this week. If you like what you see here, please like and subscribe, and with that, let's get into it. Starting with Irobot, ticker symbol IRBT. Many are familiar with Irobot. They were the first movers in the Roomba vacuums. Other than their earnings on Wednesday, there are no known big catalysts currently coming up with this company. They were going to release a robot lawnmower, the Terra, but that got pushed back due to the COVID, and not much has been said since then. Even their website page for this product is currently down. So instead we're going to go ahead and look at the technicals. So you can see here they've had a massive run up. Their revenue was up significantly in 2020. However, the week before last we had that major dip on Friday, or Thursday and Friday was a little wobbly, and then we saw a steady decrease to the downside. We just now recently saw a breaking of the SMA, and there's a possible run up to earnings right here, which is on Wednesday. So my eye is on a earnings run up. We may or may not see it. We're currently above the SMA, like I just said. However, keep your eye on if this goes up more. The Bollinger Bands are really tight, so we might see a breakout, but there's not a lot of time. There's only 3 days until earnings, and I do not hold through earnings. Let's quickly look at what happened last earnings. So last earnings, we did see a run up. It was a very slow run up, but it did run up. Ran up about 25% over 19 days, so that's pretty good. But then earnings came and we saw a massive dip. And this is why we don't hold through earnings. Like, at least I personally don't hold through earnings. There's a huge risk. I personally lost a ton of money on Netflix holding through earnings a while back, and that was my lesson. Now, of course, it could blow up, or it could just continue the path it was on. But it's a huge risk, I think, to hold through earnings, because I've seen so many stocks take a huge plummet. So basically how you use a run-ups play, or at least how I do earnings run-ups, is if it's running up before earnings, I usually sell right before earnings happen. So usually happens in the after the market close. So I sell around the market closure depending on the technicals. There is a lot of upside. There's 26% upside, but I'd be surprised if it runs up that amount before Wednesday. But this is just a quick play. I would get in, get out if you see a strong opening tomorrow. Don't overstay your welcome on this one. Next we have Sunrun, ticker symbol RUN. There is no real major catalyst other than the current administration being very friendly to renewable energy, and I imagine possible incentives being created on the consumer side with regards to solar energy, which would help Sunrun immensely. But onto the technicals. We've done this one multiple times in our stock talks. It broke through the $79 zone of support, and then it did find support around the $66 zone, and currently we're in a small uptrend that it seems. Lines that used to be support become resistance, so we look out for this. If you buy in, be sure to keep a close eye on this $79 zone. It could break through. Sometimes it just cuts through like butter, but be ready for it to face resistance, and it could hit, and then fail. So be prepared for that. But I do think this, in long run, will do well. There's a lot of upside to this. We know it can hit $95, and right now we have 26% upside. So always look at the upside. Doesn't mean a stock will go back to the same price levels. It will, but I have a good feeling that Sunrun will continue to grow as a company, especially given the current administration's love for renewable energies. Next we have Fastly. The cloud computing market is growing and will continue to grow in the foreseeable future, especially if working from home becomes a new reality for many businesses. Many customers use Fastly, like Amazon, to load and update their homepage. Also, large companies like Fubo TV, Shopify, and Vimeo use their servers as well. Fastly is able to process its data significantly faster than its competitors. There are no huge catalysts coming up, but this is a growing company in a growing market. So let's go into the technicals. So we recently had a lot of running up. In this last run, we had a 38% increase in 19 days. So that's pretty significant. Currently though, my one problem is there's not currently a ton of upside from the last high. There's 5%, and that doesn't mean that it won't break through this. However, again, if you buy in, it's currently is in a little bit of uptrend. If you do watch, again, this 119 support, or excuse me, resistance level. So finally on Palantir, ticker symbol PLTR. This stock recently had an extension on their contract with BP. Used to be only really government contracts, but now they've started focusing significantly on business-to-business contracts like BP and others. So looking at the technicals of this, we just got a breach of the SMA. There is a level of possible resistance at this $36 zone, but I imagine obviously the $40 zone, the high, we're going to face a lot more resistance as opposed to this, but we can still face some resistance here. Ultimately though, I think this stock will go above $34 at its current price. I believe this will go to at least $50 within this quarter. So keep an eye out on this level, this $36 level. I do think it will break through. You never know. Hopefully the market doesn't dump tomorrow. Hopefully there's no choppiness or anything like that, but you never know. I think this was affected by the market the week before last. Just because the technicals look good on this stock does not mean that it will follow through, given that the market may have other ideas. With that said, there is a lot of upside. We have about 19% from the last high. So that is a lot of upside, and that presents a lot of opportunity. Now, again, that doesn't mean that if it runs, it will go up 19%, but this is just to showcase that where it could possibly go. And I think $40 is easy. Not necessarily this week. It could, maybe not, but I think eventually it will definitely break that high of $40 at some point in the near future. Now, talking about last week's pick, the Moon ETF, I hope some of you got into this, or all of you got into this. We went up about 8% so far. We saw a buy signal here above this SMA. We'll see if this maintains itself. I know the MACD is looking kind of flat here. Not a lot of, not these big histogram bars that I like. Like, we like it when it's like this. These big histogram bars. But right now we're really flat MACD. But that doesn't necessarily mean it will go down. However, I would feel more comfortable if these expanded away from one another. So keep an eye on that. Same with ARK. Called this out last week. I did not know that the market past trading week was going to bounce so quickly. Bounce on Monday, basically. But I hope you guys got in, because this was decent profit so far. We're about 4.5%. Not bad. The MACD also on here is looking a little weak. We'll see what happens. The trend is your friend till the end, so hopefully we can ride this out a little longer, maybe get at least 10%. That'd be very nice, but we'll take what we can get. We called out SOL last week. However, it did have a little bit of a run up, but then the solar market took a little bit of a dip. This one currently is not a buy for me, but it could go up tomorrow. High is around $33, or the line of resistance. So it did have a massive run up and a big drop. It then found support on the $20 zone. I expect this to go up in the future, but right now it's trading sideways, so I would just wait on this one. I had a lot of stocks that didn't have any catalysts coming up, but it's important that if there are no upcoming catalysts, to go off of companies that are growing in both revenue, popularity amongst consumers, and that the market is growing as well. Alright, that about does it for this stock talk. If you like what you've seen here, please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, thank you.